What's up, YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back with a coin shortage coin roll hunt. Stay tuned. So none of my banks that get me boxes of coins were able to get coins this week due to the holiday. So here on Saturday, I ran around to probably 10 different banks and took whatever they would give me from behind the counter. So what you see here is, I think, $25 worth of pennies from 3 different banks. We've got $60 worth of halves from a Chase. We have from a different Chase a couple of rolls of quarters, a couple of rolls of dimes, a couple of rolls of nickels, and then from a Wells Fargo, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rolls of blue wrapped nickels. So those will be fun to get into. A lot of these times, these old blue First Union wrappers have some goodies in them. I also was able to pick up 5 Eisenhower dollars from behind the counter. Some of the banks had those, so I went ahead and picked those up too. So what we're going to do first, the pennies are going to take the longest, and I'm actually going to start a book fill in this video. So I'm going to do those last. We'll start with the halves because they'll go fastest. We'll then move on to the quarters, the dimes, the nickels, and then end with the pennies. So let me get situated, and we're going to jump right into it. All right, here we go with the half dollars. As in all of my coin roll hunting videos, I just like to remind people that there is a link in the description down below that has a document, a Google Doc in it that has all of the various varieties and errors that I'll be looking for throughout this video. So please do take a second to go down there and click on that link and download that document if you would like it. And while you're down there, go ahead and click on that like button. I'd really appreciate it. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into these rolls. I'll open one here. Let's open this one here on camera. We're mainly looking for silver. We're looking for DDOs. And we are looking for no FGs. And I don't have a lot of high hopes with just 6 rolls. And with them being customer wrapped, they're very likely searched. And I did find out today from one of the banks I stopped at, a BB&T that I never go to. They said, you know, when we do have it, we usually save it up because we've got another coin collector that comes through here and cleans us out. So I apparently have some competition, at least in that area of town. So anything you see me put off here to the left, it's something that I'll scope a little bit later, and we'll take a look at together if there's anything interesting to see. So what I'm going to do is I'll get into these last, 2, 4, 5 rolls, and I'll bring you in if we find anything interesting. Well, that was it for the halves. $60 up, $60 down. No errors, no varieties, nothing to find. So we're going to get into these 2 rolls of quarters. I'll just do these here live on camera because it is just 2 rolls. And I may trim it depending on the length of the video. You never know what you're going to get, though, in a customer wrapped roll. So let me just do it like this. I want to bring you guys in on 3 coins. What I have under the scope is that Alaskan guy, and sure enough, I believe this is the 6th claw. You can see right here we've got an extra claw because there's one going this way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one actually sits right out here, and we've got an extra one running right through here. That said, the quarter's not in great shape, so I don't think it's going to fetch a whole lot of money. So to wrap up the quarters, we do have that 6th claw Alaska. I just wanted to show you very quickly, see if I can get this. Let me zoom a little bit. This is just a really nice looking Canadian quarter. I don't think it's worth anything more than 25 cents in Canada, which means in the United States, worth even less than that. But just tremendous detail there on Queen Elizabeth. And I just thought it was a really, really nice quarter. Probably one of the nicer Canadian quarters I've ever found. And last but not least, we have this 1982. Again, it's not perfect. It has problems, but 82s are, when I find them, they're usually pretty dingy and pretty beat up. And this one actually still has a little bit of sheen to it. It's actually a decent looking quarter, so I may hang on to this. 82s were a real limited vintage, so finding one in a higher grade is pretty nice. I don't think this one gets there, but it's probably one of the nicest ones I've ever found. So we are on to the dimes. I only have 2 rolls, and they do look to be circulated dimes, so we could get lucky. I doubt it, though. I don't hunt a lot of dimes. I basically just edge hunt for silver. So this will go really, really fast, so I'll just keep this all on camera. Get this open without me dropping it. I don't see any silver in there. It looks like we might have some nicer, newer dimes in there, but no silver. So we're going to push those aside. I will go through those off camera, and if I find any proofs or anything of interest, I will bring you guys back in. Let's check this one out real quick. All right, same drill. I do see a lot of shiny rims, so that means we probably have a lot of 2019s, 20s, 21s in here, but I'm not seeing any silver. So let me go through them. If I happen to find a proof or something, I'll bring you guys in. And if I happen to miss the silver, obviously I'll bring you in. If you don't hear back from me, it's because we're going to jump into the nickels. All right, well, here we are with the nickels, and I'm going to start over here with these Loomis rolls. These appear to be 2021P bank wrapped rolls, probably full rolls of uncirculated. I checked these out on eBay, and people are getting actually pretty decent money for them. But it just depends on the auction. I saw one where they were selling 2 rolls and they got $6.50. But I saw another one where they had a roll of Philadelphia and a roll of Denver and they got like $22. So I may do a little more hunting on eBay and see if it makes sense to try to maybe flip these on eBay. Otherwise, these will go back to the bank just as they are. The enders don't look great, but they do look to be kind of uncirculated, right? They're just ender kind of damage there. But we're going to get into these rolls. They're all blue, or almost all of them are these first union wraps, and they have some writing. Like here it says 8 needed, so I'm real curious what's in these. So let's pick one and get into it together. Actually zoom out a little bit here. Let's get into one blue roll. Maybe we'll get lucky and find some neat stuff. Well, based on that, they just look like nickels. This is somebody that just had some, and that's a 2000, 98. All right, so these do not look to be terribly old, at least in this first roll. So what I'm going to do is I'll finish going through these, and if I happen to hit a roll that's got a lot of goodies in it, I'll bring you guys in. Looks like we're going to need the pennies to save the day, because out of all of those rolls, we had a single 1946 Philly, and we had a 1952 Philly. The 46 does have a variety on it. I looked at it under the scope. It didn't have it. I did find something like 12 of the 2005 Buffaloes. Those were all checked for the wounded bison. None of them had it. And then I found a handful of coins that I'm going to check against my book to see if they're upgrades. Nothing to write home about. They're all common years, 2000, 2012. I think I had like a 98 or a 97. So they're newer nickels. These were just really, really nice, and I'm going to see if they upgrade my book. So with that said, we're going to get into the pennies, and to hopefully bring this home, we'll find at least a handful of wheat pennies or something interesting to talk about. So this box is a mess. We're going to jump into it. It's going to be really hard to keep track of which roll we're on, but I will bring you in roll by roll as we find things, assuming we find things. We've got a couple of different types of wrappers, and I think I said this was from 3 banks, and I think that's accurate. The majority of it came from a Wells Fargo, and then the other 2, I think one was a Chase and one was another Wells Fargo. But we definitely have a couple of different types of wrappers, so I'm excited to get into these and see what we find. We will, again, be looking for errors and varieties. We'll be looking for wheat pennies, Indian head pennies, and of course we will pull all of our copper. So let's get into it. So I'm maybe 5 or 6 rolls in, and I just thought I would stop here and show you. The rolls have been pretty good from a copper perspective. Almost every roll kind of looks like this, so I'm pulling a fair amount of copper. This is all copper up here. These are 81s that I saved for Jinx Brothers. These are some okay looking coppers that may go in the book. I'm going to sort through these as I said, I'm going to start filling up some empty penny books that I have. And then anything that looks kind of really nice, I'm pulling aside for the book. So I'm not pulling every year per se. I'm looking for nice stuff. I go through enough pennies that I don't want to just fill the album with whatever I find. I'll just pull really, really nice things. So I don't really have any finds outside of this 2009 Professional Life Lincoln. It's in terrible shape, but I know a lot of people pull these and hang on to them because it was a special year. They did 4 different designs, but I have a bunch of BU bank wrap rolls of these. So I pull them because everybody else does, but for me, they go back in the bin. So that's it. Just wanted to give a quick update. So I counted them up. We're about 13 rolls in, and we are on our first wheat penny in the customer wrapped rolls. We have a 1956 Denver. Along the way, we found a few more of the 2009s, the formative years in professional life. No DDRs, or actually it's a variety, the extra thumb variety there on Lincoln there. Don't have any. Got a whole ton of copper, and I got a bunch of stuff from my book, but we're going to keep on hunting. Very next roll, we have another wheat penny. It's another 1956D in much worse condition, but we'll take it. That's 2 on the box. So we are on or around roll 20. I didn't count up this time, so I'm not exactly sure, but we have another wheat penny. I haven't looked at it yet. It was reverse facing. It's actually pretty decent looking on the back. It's a 1945 Philly. We'll add it to the board. That makes 3. So this time I did count it up, and we are on roll 24. And even in a customer wrapped roll, we were able to score a dime. It looks like, let's see here, 2018. It's pretty new. Pretty nice looking too. Anyway, hey, we're up 9 cents on that roll. I'll take it. I'm on roll like 28 or 29, give or take, and very early in this roll. And this roll, it's got a lot, looks like to be a lot of copper in it, just looking at the coloring. And this was coin number 3. It was reverse facing. Let's have a look. 1944. I'll check to see if that has a DDO or DDR, and if it does, I'll bring you right back in. Just wanted to bring you back in real quick. We ended up in that one roll that I said looked copper heavy. It had 27 1966s in it, and then a smattering of like 73s, 75, and 76 or something on top of our wheat penny. So there was a lot of copper in that roll. We are on roll 41, and we found another wheat penny. It was reverse facing this time. Let's see here. Check it out together. It's a little worn on the back. 1944. That makes 2 1944s on the box. That's 5 wheat pennies in total. Roll 45, and we have another wheat penny. This one was reverse facing, so let's find out together. Another 1945 Philly. On roll 48, you gotta love this for customer wrapped. Not just 1 dime. We got 2. So we're up, what is that, 18 cents on this roll. Pretty nice. That's 3 dimes on the box. I'll take it. Same roll, just a few coins later, we have our 7th wheat penny of the box. Let's check it out here. We got a 1955D. I'll just lay it right there for now. Roll 49, and we got almost all the way to the end, and we've got another wheat penny. We've got a 1956 Philly. Well, that wraps up the pennies, and let's bring you in for a recap here. We did end up with 2 1944 wheat pennies, a couple of 1945 wheat pennies, a 55D, and then we had 3 1956s, but I think it was 2 Phillies and 1 Denver. And we did end up with 3 dimes, which isn't too bad considering they were customer wrap rolls. I expect machines to do that, but not people. We did have 4 of the Professional Life Lincoln 2009s and 2 of the formative years. These are all some of the nicer looking coppers. They're definitely, well, I say they're definitely going in the book. There's probably some duplicates in here, but those will be the first choices for the years that are in here. And these are all 81 P&Ds, and like I said, I've said this in most of my penny videos, Jinx Brothers is doing like a Guinness Book challenge, and he's collecting 1981. So I pull those and send them to him when I get a roll or two. I do have a stack of other pennies. I tried to pull the nicer examples. I know I've got a lot of duplicates in here, so just the really nice stuff I kind of pulled. Some of it's not so nice, but you know, not all years are pristine like the later pennies. And the reason I'm doing that is last year I actually bought these 3 Whitman albums, and I think I've only put probably 7 or 8 pennies in here, and my intent was to start filling these up as I did penny box hunts. So what I'll do is go through the stash of pennies I have over here and our nice coppers. And oh, by the way, we did end up with over 800 grams of copper. I'm going to go through that as well for anything that we don't cover from here. And I'm going to get these books as filled in as I can based on this one box, and I will bring you guys in so you can have a look. So let me do that. It's going to take me a little while. It'll just be a few seconds for you. So we finally got everything all slotted, and I'll bring you guys in here. The 1909 to 1940 book, obviously we didn't add anything to, because our earliest find, I think, was a 1944. I did want to bring you in here to book number 2, which is 41 to 74. And in full disclosure, there were probably 7 or 8 pennies, 10 pennies already in here from a box battle I did a long, long time ago with Jinx Brothers. And we found a couple of really, really nice, like BU 60s and early 70s pennies. So you'll see those in here. But this gives you an idea how much we filled in. Like these were all here. These are just beautiful 60s pennies. We got a couple up here that were already there, but the rest of these were added as part of this hunt. So we did a pretty good job. Let me back up here. Pretty good job filling out a lot of book number 2 with this box. And finally, book number 3, which goes up through 2013. We put the biggest dent in. And again, I only pulled, you know, decent looking coins, and not all of these are decent looking, but as I went through, if they kind of jumped out at me, I grabbed them. We've got a couple of varieties in here around the 1982. But we did a really good job filling up most of this book. And I did pull everything after 2013. I think I have just about everything from 2014 on. I just had to set aside because I don't have a book to put those in. So as you can see, with one box of pennies, if you wanted to start filling out books, at least from the, I would say 1960 on, you can put a huge dent in these books. So if you're looking for a rainy day afternoon with, you know, activity with the kids, and you can get a box of pennies somewhere, this can be a whole lot of fun. So we'll continue to fill out these books. I have 2 giant $500 half-dollar boxes full of copper. I have a bunch of wheat pennies, and I'm resisting the urge to go back to those previous hunts to try to fill in the rest of this book. I think I'm just going to try to fill it in with new boxes moving forward. So anyway, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit of everything, but that's a little bit due to what we were able to pick up from the bank. Like, I didn't spend any time on these Ikes, but they're just 5 regular Ikes. They're not silver. But, you know, we did get some Ikes. We got to see some quarters. We got to see some halves, and we got to see some nickels. And, of course, those pennies. The pennies were by far the most fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, head on down below this video and click that like button. Or, you know what, just let's crush that like button. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, consider clicking on that subscribe button and coming back and checking out some of my additional comments. Or, I'm sorry, comments. My additional videos. There we go. We got it out. Well, I hope you guys take care. I hope you enjoyed this one. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Everybody, have a great day, and see you later.